Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 5, text number 9, 10 don't have purport, I will read for myself, 11 will repeat. In the matter of Narada Muni cursed by Prajapati Daksha. Text 9. Katam sapitu adesham avidvamso vipachita anurupam avijnaya aho sargam karishyata. Translation. Alas, your father is omniscient, but you do not know his actual order. Without knowing the actual purpose of your father, how will you create progeny? Text 10. Sri Sukha Vacha Tani Samyata Aryasva Autpattika Manishaya Vacha Kutam Tu Devarishi Swayam Vimam Rishurdhiya. Translation. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, hearing these enigmatic words of Narada Muni, the Haryasyas considered them with their natural intelligence without help from others. Number 11 we will repeat. Bhushetram jiva samjnam yad anadi nijabandhanam adrishtva tasya nirvanam kimma satkarma birbhaved. Translation and purport by Divine Gadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Haryashvas understood the meaning of Narada's word as follows. The word Bhu, the earth, refers to the field of activities. The material body, which is a result of the living being's action in his field of activities, and it gives him false designation. Since time immemorial, he has received various types of material body, which are the roots of bondage to the material world. If one foolishly engages in temporary fruitive activities and does not look toward the cessation of this bondage, what will be the benefit of his action? Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport. Narada Muni spoke to Aryashvas, the son of Prajapati Daksha, about 10 allegorical subjects: the king, the kingdom, the river, the house, the physical element, and so forth. After considering these by themselves, the Aryashvas could understand that the living entity engaged in his body seeks happiness, but take no interest in how to become free from his engagement. This is a very important verse. Since all the living entities in the material world are very active, have obtained their particular types of bodies. A man works all day and night for sense gratification, and animals like hogs and dogs also work for sense gratification all day and night. Birds, beasts, and all other conditioned living entities engage in various activities without knowledge of the soul engaged within the body. Especially in the human form of body, one's duty is to act in such a way that he can release himself from this engagement. But without the instruction of Narada or his representative in the disciplic succession, people blindly engage in bodily activities to enjoy Maya Sukha, flickering temporary happiness. They do not know how to become free from material engagement. Rishabdeva therefore said that such activity is not at all good, since it engages the soul again and again in a body subjected to the threefold miseries of the material condition. The Aryashvas, the sons of Prajapati Daksha, could immediately understand the purport of Narada's instructions. Our Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for such enlightenment. We are trying to enlighten humanity so that people may come to the understanding that they should work hard in tapasya for self-realization and freedom from the continuous bondage of birth, death, old age and disease. in one body after another. Maya, however, is very strong. She is expert in putting impediments in the way of this understanding. Therefore, sometimes one comes to Krishna consciousness movement, but again falls into the clutches of Maya, not understanding the importance of this movement. Thus in the Bhaktivedanta purport. So in this chapter we read last week, the first 8 verses. So this verse is in continuation to that. So in the summary we read how the sons of Daksha were delivered by Narada when they heard the ultimate goal of life. And not to become ordinary karmis, to become ordinary karmis to beget children. Because Daksha has instructed them to create progeny. But because they came in touch with Narada Muni, actually they were all enlightened and they could understand what is the ultimate goal of life. So they were not interested in this. So I'll just read 2 verses from the last class. Verse number 1, I'll just read the translation. Srila Sukadeva Goswami continued, impelled by the illusory energy of Lord Vishnu, Prajapati Daksha begot 10,000 sons in the womb of Panchajani, Ashikni. My dear king, these sons were called the Aryashvas, because Prabhupada is quoting that in today's purport also. And in the last verse, it is mentioned, because Prabhupada is writing here in today's purport, Narada Muni spoke to the Aryashvas, the sons of Prajapati Daksha, about 10 allegorical subjects. What are these 10 subjects? So the Narada, great sage Narada said, my dear Aryashvas, you have not seen the extremities of the earth. There is a kingdom where only one man lives, where there is a hole from which, having entered, no one emerges. A woman there who is extremely unchaste adorns herself with various attractive dresses, and the man who lives there is her husband. In that kingdom there is a river flowing in both directions, a wonderful home made of 25 materials, a swan that vibrates various sound, and an automatically revolving object made of sharp razors and thunderbolt. Like that it explained. So, when these Aryashvas heard from Narada Muni this, by their own intelligence, actually they could understand what is the ultimate goal of life. That's why they were not interested in begetting children and increasing the progeny. So, people generally, Prabhupada writes actually, Narada Muni advised the Aryashvas not to enter the household life, since they were already advanced in spiritual knowledge. That also we read, how they went to the western direction, where all the Paramahamsa, they were meditating. So they did a lot of tapasya, austerities, meditation, and they were advanced in spiritual knowledge. So Narada Muni, seeing them, he didn't want them to get entangled. In the Vedic literature, Narada Muni keeps on going here and there. And he converts all sort of people to this science of self-realization. So, Narada Muni is doing a great service and he is in our parampara. So, people generally are working hard in this world. Why? Because they want to enjoy their senses. That is the whole substance of this material world. You work hard, earn a lot of money, have a nice house, nice car, then you get married. This is the normal way of life recommended also in the scriptures, in the Karma Kanda portion of the scriptures. If somebody want to follow the Pravritti Marga, they have to go through all these things. But it is a lot of cumbersome, it is troublesome actually. That's why when Narada Muni saw they were so advanced in spiritual knowledge, he gave that instruction, and by which they all became renounced. And we'll go on reading this. So, people are working very hard day and night to amass, Prabhupada says, to amass money to enjoy. This is fruity activity. This is Maya, Prabhupada writes. Because that is whole world, you see, majority of the population, they are all driven by this. They are working hard right from morning till night. Even night shift they have, Prabhupada says. Correct? People, they are not satisfied with what they are earning. They want to work more hours. They want to earn overtime. They work overtime, earn more money. Actually, it all boils down to enjoying your senses, to gratify your senses. Actually, that is not the goal of the human form of life. So, Rishabhadev's instruction after instruction, we are reading in the 5th canto, 5th chapter. He is instructing his 100 sons. This is anyway available in all forms of life. That's why in today's purport also, Prabhupada writes, this is a very important verse. Since all the living entities in the material world are active, having obtained their particular types of bodies, a man works all day and night for sense gratification. Animals like ox and dogs also work for sense gratification all day and night. Birds, beasts, all other conditioned living entities engage in various activities without the knowledge of the soul engaged within the body. So that's why Prabhupada said this is a very important verse. People are just working for the bodily necessities. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending is common in all these 8,484 lakh species, 8.4 million species. These are all common. But in the human form of life, actually you can try to understand what is the higher values of life. What is the purpose of the human form of life? Whole of Vedic literature, there are many verses. Correct? We read, we come across, when we hear Prabhupada lecture, again and again many verses are quoted. Because Prahlad Maharaj also says that though it is temporary, we all know the body will be finished one day. But in this temporary span of life, we can achieve something ultimate. No more birth, death. We can stop the cessation. That's why it says we have to stop this repetition of birth and death. So, because this economic problem, all big economists and all these people are working, only it is applying to the human form, correct? But whereas you see, out of 84 lakh, only 4 lakh are human species. 80 lakh species, they don't have any economic problem. Lord has arranged everything very systematically. If you follow the laws of nature, everything you will acquire, you will get. You need not work hard. See, in the animal kingdom, they don't work hard. They work to eat and all. But they don't go to factory, they don't go overtime, all these things. Why? Because they know their food is there. Just like the birds get up in the morning, it is chirping and it is going here and there, it will get some fruits, some nuts, it will just eat, it will come and feed the younger ones. So it's all arranged actually. Only in the human form of life, we go against the law of nature, because human being by nature, we are all very greedy and lusty. We want to acquire more and more. You heard this also, correct? Article now and then keep coming in the news. Maybe 8-10% of the world population, they are holding whole money of overall population actually. See, why you need so much billion and trillions of rupees or dollars? You don't need. You hardly need for a basic necessity. How much you need, everybody knows. But this is the influence of Maya or illusory energy. People think, no, I have to work hard. I have to do this, attain this, I have to get this, achieve this. So people are working hard. And they miss out the purpose of the human form of life. Particularly in the human form of life, it's very rare. In the 11th canto, this verse, Prabhupada quotes many places. Labdva Sudarlabham, very nice verse actually. Labdva sudurlabam idu bahu sambhavante. It is mentioned here, after many births and death, one achieves a rare human form of life, which, although temporary, affords one opportunity to attain the highest perfection. Same Prahlad Maharaj also says, Arthadam, Dhruvam Arthadam. Thus, a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life. See? As long as his body, ultimate perfection of life, as long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died. So everybody knows this, correct? One day we are going to die. Our grandfathers, they have died. Our great-grandfathers, they have gone. One day I will be gone. But Maya is keeping everybody under our control in this material world. After all, sense gratification is available even in the most abominable species of life, whereas Krishna consciousness is only possible for a human being. See, this is also repeated many. When the Vedic literature repeats something, that means it emphasizes. We should really be awakened. We should be awakened, otherwise we will be in deep slumber. Correct? Just like we keep alarm in the morning to get up for the Mangalarti. Otherwise, we will sleep soundly, particularly during these winter times. Early morning sleep, it's so nice. But in the human form of life, we should get up. We should be eager to attend Mangalarti. That's why Prabhupada, he says, at the end of the purport also he says, see, Maya is however very strong. She is expert in putting impediments in the way of this understanding. Because Maya is doing her thankless job, just like policeman's job, Prabhupada says. Therefore, sometimes one comes to Krishna consciousness movement, but again falls into the clutches of Maya, not understanding the importance of the movement. We come across few devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness, and somehow, due to the influence of Maya, some problem, actually there is no problem. You only create the problem in the mind, and unfortunately they leave the movement. And when you go away from the association of devotees, and they say initially when they go, no, I'll get up every day for Mangala Aarti, I'll do Aarti at home, I'll chant. First few days it will go on, because you have practiced for a while, correct? We have seen many devotees, unfortunately, it happens like that. Few days, they will even come to temple, attend Mangala Aarti, all these things. But slowly, because outside world, you have to work first of all. And unless you may be a powerful lion or a tiger, but you have to work. This is how the metal world is designed actually. Then slowly, they want to chant, but they find it very difficult actually, very difficult to chant. One Bhakta was there, maybe 25, almost 28 years before or something, 25 years maybe, he joined before. Somehow, due to his mental this thing only, he just quit. I'm in touch with him, struggling actually. He loves to practice devotional service, but finding it very difficult to chant. And here and there, some association, some class he hears like that. He keeps sending message. We all come across this, correct? Actually, Prabhupada has given a wonderful thing. Our austerity is just little. It's not a big austerity. Like that also in the Vedic literature it is mentioned. Very tough austerity they used to perform. Everything is very tailor-made arrangement. Everything is very, very easy nowadays. Even 30-40 years before in our ISKCON Bangalore it was tough. Today everything is tailor-made program. So we have to push actually. Sometimes our body, our mind will create this impediment, saying, no, I'm tired today, I'm having this. Try as far as possible, we should try to push actually. Otherwise it will become a practice slowly, little by little. This is how Maya enters. Little by little, she will give some ideas. So, we should be very careful. So, Prabhupada says here, correct, Aryashas could understand the purpose or goal of life. There is no such education in big universities. Prabhupada speaks of this in many places, correct? Like Prabhupada was invited in MIT Boston in US. So he was speaking, he gave a class. And like in Western University, in India also it is developing, we have so many faculties, so many advanced knowledge in engineering and science and medicine and so many things. So many faculties are there today. Correct? Maybe 50 years before, not so many streams were there. Today so many, and particularly Prabhupada says all the Indians, they go to the Western universities because they are all accomplished universities. But after the class, Prabhupada was talking, we are not this body, we are spirit, soul, all these things. And Prabhupada used to ask them whether you have any department wherein, say some person is dead now, can you bring back his life again? Can he become alive again? Is there any technology? Because you are learning so many technology. Is there any technology like that? So Prabhupada used to boldly speak from the scriptures, and they were laughter. Prabhupada says in one lecture, they were all laughing like that. But after the end of the class, when Prabhupada, the students came forward, they were very happy actually to hear all these things. They were asking a lot of questions. Basically, we are all in ignorance. That's why we go to school, colleges. Because we are born ignorance. After going to school and college also, this material education, what we are getting, we are still ignorant only. There is no change in our consciousness. That's why again, a beautiful verse, Rishabhdeva's instruction is there, in the 5th verse, 5th canto, 5th chapter. Parabhavas tavad abodha jataha. Parabhavas, actually you will be defeated. Whatever grand you do in this material world will be defeated actually. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. People commit sinful activities, Prabhupada explained, correct? Why? Due to ignorance. Because you think you do some sin, nobody is seeing, I can escape. No, it's not like that. Law of nature is very strict. If you are caught, you will be punished. So, then it is mentioned, be it sinful or pious, karma as its resultant action. So somebody may do, I am doing a lot of pious work, I am doing charity, I am doing dana, I am religious, so-called religious. So nice. No, that also has a reaction. That's why Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, we should do karma, akarma actually. Pious work, karma will also bring you good result. Obviously, impious work we should not do, sinful work we should not do. If you do, you will get negative reaction. But Krishna is offering a third alternative, you work for me, akarma that is. If you don't work for Krishna consciousness, for Krishna, then you will get resultant action. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruity activity. As long as the mind is impure, one consciousness is unclear. See? If our mind is impure, consciousness will be unclear. That's why when we chant, when we do the devotional service, when we do the sadhana devotional service in the morning, actually our mind becomes clear. Cheto, darpana, marjanam, it happens. And our consciousness becomes clear. And as long as one is absorbed in fruity activity, he has to accept a material body. So there is no other way out. If you are engaged in the fruity activity, we have to get one body again. This body we are seeing so many problems, so many miseries. Again you get one more body. Again you get... So this goes on and on and on. So that's why it is mentioned that people are acting in this principle. I am this body. I have to gratify my body. I have to gratify my extended body. That's why they want to serve the society. They want to serve the country. These are all extended service. But the person who is receiving the service is not satisfied, he is not happy. The person who is serving is also not happy actually. So this is what is going on in this world. So when we hear instruction like this, and Prabhupada says, human life should be meant for elevation, not degradation. So you have got this human form of life. It's like a springboard, correct? We can jump, we can go to Goloka Vrindavan, we can go to Vaikuntha Loka. If we practice this Krishna consciousness. Otherwise we'll again glide down and we don't know when we'll again come in touch with a devotee. It's very rare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is mentioned. Brahmanda Brahmite Konyo Bhagavan Jeev. Who is fortunate? Who comes in contact with a bona fide. Just like the Aryashya, they came in contact with Narada Muni. So Narada Muni is giving this transcendental knowledge. Only in the Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned. When you get in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Yoga, transcendental knowledge, when you get this transcendental knowledge, then only these miseries can be, just like in the fire burns out the whole forest. Similarly, when we get this transcendental knowledge, all this ignorance can be removed from us. So, then Prabhupada says that but unfortunately, nobody is inquiring about all these things. That verse also says, because nobody is inquiring about their own self. We are all thinking we are this body, we are in bodily concept of life, and we go on with this. Prabhupada in this SSR book also he writes, correct? Just like somebody dies. His body is lying there. We go and cry, correct? Oh, my father has gone, my mother has gone, so-and-so has gone. Where he is gone, he is just lying there only. So, throughout the whole life of that person, we have not seen the real person. We have seen the external body only. That's all. We are not seeing the soul within. So, to get enlightenment in this is very important. Otherwise, if we are not doing this, whatever we do, grand thing in this world, it all will be defeated. That's why Krishna also says, Daivi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya Maam Evai Prapadyante Mayam. The divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome. So, only by surrendering to the Supreme Lord, we can cross beyond it. Otherwise, there is no other way. So, we have to contemplate on all these things, how, and like Prabhupada ends the purport also, just before a para is writing here, our Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for enlightenment. We are trying to enlighten humanity so that people may come to the understanding that they should work hard in tapasya for self-realization. So we should also, as a devotee, we are trying to become a devotee. We should also work hard, but self-realization and freedom from continuous bondage of birth, death, old age, and disease in one body after another. So we also have a task. But already if you see, analyze, when we come in touch with Krishna consciousness, we are already 20, 25 or whatever. Sometime it is 30 plus and all. So already that many lives, that many years gone. So we are hardly left with few more years. So we should become very serious. Because in this life, Prabhupada says, it's just a fraction of a second. Actually, we can go back to Godhead. We have to become 100% Krishna consciousness without any material desires. So, this sadhana practice will help us, and whatever little we have come to this knowledge, so our Prabhupada is writing, is especially meant for such enlightenment. We are trying to enlighten humanity. So when we go and preach, everybody is a preacher here. when we preach, we see how people totally change slowly by slowly. It all starts with chanting. We make them chant 1 round, 2 round. Slowly they increase chanting. They want also. That is the process. It's a science. It will work actually. So we should have faith in this. We should take little austerity. We should go beyond this bodily. And we should go extra mile actually. We should not be in the comfort zone. No, everything should be comfortable. No, it's not like that. Go little. What you are going to get? We are going to get the highest thing, Krishna Prema. We can go and be in the spiritual world. So we are all entitled. So it's by the mercy, like Narada Muni, it is mentioned, the Aryasyas got benefit. So Prabhupada coming in the same parampara is giving this transcendental knowledge. So if we practice, so we can achieve the same, we can come to the same level of consciousness. These are the few things. I'll stop here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.